What is going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com, and I got a free pick for you from this Buffalo versus Ohio college football matchup going down on Friday, November 28th, 2025. But before we get to that free pick, if you are looking for my best bets, the games that I love the most, the ones that I have the most money on every single day, you can head to Pickdawgz.com. You can click the link in the description of this video below. You can click the experts tab at the top of the page, regardless whichever route you choose. But we got so much free pick content here at Pickdawgz that you know these plays in the premium side are our best of the best. That's what Pickdawgz Premium is for. But we've also got our inner circle. It's something we've been mentioning a lot in our videos as of late. It's not for everyone. It's for those who are placing larger bets of at least $1,000 or more per game, which is the requirement to be accepted into the service. But we've had a lot of big bettors and high rollers join this club already, having a lot of success early on with the one-on-one coaching, the bankroll management, the early releases. So if this sounds like something that's for you, reach out to the number on the screen and we'll get you some more information. But let's get to this one between Ohio and Buffalo. And you got the Ohio Bobcats 7-4 on the year, 5-2 in MAC play. Buffalo 5-6, 4-3 in MAC play. Now for Buffalo, the motivation here is simple: win and you get a bowl game, win and you're bowl eligible. For Ohio, they're still eligible to make the conference championship game in the MAC, but they need a lot of help. They need to win. They need Northern Illinois to beat Kent State on Friday. They need Miami, Ohio to lose on Saturday and Central Michigan to win. And then they have to beat Central Michigan in team rating score metric as well, whatever that is. But, it's still, there's a lot of hoops to jump through for Ohio here. But I still think that this is going to, still bring out the better result in Ohio, with something to play for here. And this is an Ohio team that's been able to beat a lot of inferior teams in the MAC this season. I mean, they blew out UMass in their last game. They're coming off the wins over Miami, Ohio, Eastern Michigan. They blew out Northern Illinois. But they're also, they also lost to Western Michigan. And, Ohio hasn't necessarily been perfect across the board this season. But also got to remember, this is an Ohio team with a win over West Virginia. They beat Bowling Green. They did have the loss, the sort of the shocker loss to Ball State. And they went toe-to-toe with Rutgers earlier in the season as well. And I do think that Ohio has the better quarterback here in Parker Navarro. The problem that I had with Buffalo for much of the season was that I thought Buffalo was going to be a contender in the MAC this season. I thought that they were going to be a team that was going to show a lot of fight, a lot of promise. But then, some of the losses came out and some of the performances that they had just weren't indicative of a team that should be competing in the conference. I mean, you could argue that you look at some of their results. This is a Buffalo team that could have lost to Kent State, who coming into the year I thought was going to be winless in 2025. They almost lost that game as massive favorites. They lost to Troy, lost to UConn. They barely got by Eastern Michigan, 31-30 in overtime. They should have lost to UMass, needed a late score to win by a touchdown in that one. They lost to Akron, beat Bowling Green, and then lost at Central Michigan and at home to Miami, Ohio. So Buffalo, I think, is extremely lucky to be in a position to be bowl eligible here. But that being said, Buffalo has still been able to put up some decent results at home. And I do think that 7 points is a lot for this matchup when both teams have something to play for here. If I was just going based on, skill versus skill and what we've seen and what the numbers say up to this point in the season, I would say that Ohio probably should win this game comfortably. But they're on the road. Buffalo has a chance not only to clinch bowl eligibility, but it is senior day in Buffalo. And I think that this is just going to be a competitive matchup. I could see this being 24-20 or something like that, whichever way you slice it. So I'm going to take the 7 points here with the Buffalo Bulls. It's not a game I'm rushing to the window to bet because, like I said, I have been unimpressed with Buffalo for a lot of the season. But like I said, just with everything that's at stake for both sides in this one, I think it's basically just worry about winning if you're Ohio. I get it, if you put distance between yourselves and the opponent, it's a lot easier to just focus on the task at hand, and you don't have to worry and look over your shoulder. But I don't think Buffalo's going to go down without a fight in this one. So I'm going to go with Buffalo plus the 7. That's my free pick for this game. Thank you so much for checking out this free pick video. Let me know who you guys like in this game in the comment section below. And remember, if you're looking for my best bets, you can head to Pickdawgz Premium, or you can click the link in the description of this video below and use the promo code PICK, PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. Best of luck. We'll see you guys soon.